Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this week's video. I wanted to start this video out by revealing the evolution to my water starter, which, if you'd like to watch me draw this guy named Papalmo, please check out the video number 5, and he's pal number 5. Much like Bow and Sparrow, a grass and steel type from a previous video, this guy's name popped into my head before I ever started on the design, so I saved the name to my phone and kind of fleshed out an idea in my head for a few days before I started sketching this time, and in my opinion, it shows. If this was a rush design, I would have done way too much, but I feel like this is a perfectly refined version of what was in my head on that first day. An idea just came to me. Probably not very useful in battle, but maybe with some refinement. I thought it would be cool if they could make a soda pop by eating a berry and then using a foaming attack, but it's just an idea. Also, if this silhouette looks familiar, that's because it was used on video number 6 during the Who's That Pokemon portion of the video. Anywho, the name that popped in my head resulting in this design was
Otterfall. With sharp stones, scissor-like whiskers and a waterfall of a mane, Otterfall is a great ally to have in battle, as they are masters of survival and can provide refreshing energy drinks.
This pal was meant for video number 7, but I took extra time to rework the design, so I hope you like it. For the next pal, I wanted to introduce a new line. This one will start off as an underdeveloped baby kangaroo. Well, maybe not underdeveloped per se, but rather still developing their body parts. They spend most of their time in their parents' pouches, but will venture out to explore for goods to eat. I wanted them to be a fat little eating almost anything they get their hands on, and anything they eat after their hunger is already satisfied will be teleported to their parents' belly pouches for safekeeping purposes. And the same goes for the treasures and valuables that are swallowed. If you somewhat recognize this silhouette, that's because it was teased at the end of my most recent upload during the Who's That Pokemon portion of the video. In Spanish, they usually refer to a well-fed child as a gordito. Altering the spelling a little bit, I came up with the name.
Gordito can fit in many spaces that their parents can't reach, making them perfect for retrieving all kinds of
Just a side note, I made the dex entry before I decided that the excess food will be transferred to Mama's belly and the loot will be transferred to Papa's belly. I didn't want to make you wait for the evolution this time, so that's what you're getting with pal number 3, the evolutions. However, this is going to be the male side of the split evolution line, with the female version being in another video. Now, I know most of the people watching are probably Pokemon fans, so please don't click away when I say this next part. This guy is aimed a little bit more towards Pal World, but in all honesty, the abilities, and maybe even the design, could totally work in Pokemon as well. I thought it would be cool to have a pal in the game that has a skill where they swallow your inventory. This will free up, I'm thinking 4 slots to start, and then, at max level, the partner skill allows 12 extra slots, allowing you to grind for more items at once, all while making you move faster since they automatically swallow your heaviest items. I shortened the word canguro, which is Spanish for kangaroo, in order to come up with this guy's name.
Guru Guru is an extremely protective father and will send their children to the undergrounds during the invasions. Rumor has it they've swallowed very large invaders whole. They help you out by swallowing your heavy items, which can be retrieved by reaching into their belly.
So if you've seen my most recent upload, you might remember 10 to Death. In that video, I mentioned the concept for this line, but I was still working out this design. But I feel like it's finally ready to be seen. If you didn't see the video, the concept was a magical squid trapped inside of a wizard's hat that's made of ice, with the middle stage seeing the ice take more of a cocoon shape. And I'll let you wonder a little bit longer about the final evolution. Not to be a tease, just simply because I'm still workshopping that idea at the moment. I would imagine that this guy floats atop the coldest parts of the ocean on his planet, or maybe moves along the surface of frozen lakes, and maybe they're even often mistaken for icebergs. Although this guy doesn't have tentacles just yet, he will very soon, so I combined the word tentacle with the word tyro, meaning beginner or novice, to come up with the name.
Tentairo. This species is a citizen from a planet only recently discovered by our scientists. Not much is known about this planet, but it seems to be a cold place mostly made of crystallized ice. Tentairo and Tentadept have agreed to be studied for deeper understanding.
For pal number 4, I bring you a design I've reworked at least 3 times. The past designs were very ugly, and I'd be too embarrassed to show you them here on YouTube. Subscribe to my Patreon if you'd like to see the old forms. I'm only kidding. Well, I'm kidding about the Patreon. But I am being totally serious about being too embarrassed to show you guys the old ugly ass designs for these guys. This squirrel is based on a Malabar, which is a giant squirrel in real life, but to make it fit into my world a little bit more, I wanted to make it into a gliding squirrel. I picture these guys jumping out from the treetops and swooping down to attack with their razor-sharp whiskers and dagger-like teeth, then swoop back up in one fluid motion. If I'm being quite honest, I don't really like the beta name for this guy, so if anybody has any ideas, please feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments, cause just about anything would be better than.
Manacopter chomps on tree crystals before shooting the shards at invaders. Laced with their saliva, which is toxic to most invaders, the shards dig into the skin to cause an infection. There is no known cure, as this was just recently discovered during an invasion.
For pal number 6, I bring you another doggy. I know there hasn't been a dog in this particular video, but if you've seen my other uploads, I'm sure you've noticed an abundance of dogs. I picture this guy uses his steel type magic to locate coils near civilized towns and use their electric type magic to recharge them. But you've already seen that in action, as this little guy was featured in this week's comic. In my world, these planted coils absorb and store electricity for the townspeople to use. They're a great alternative for power lines, and these coils can be charged by electricity or sunlight. But as you've seen in the comic, the downside is they can be tough to find after a blizzard. Enter Boltuft. This pal isn't designed to locate the coils per se, but rather, it detects the metal and it feels the pull from the electro beacon.
Electro-carnivore canine, also known as Boltuft, reside near the icy mountains as the blizzards allow them to hunt and charge coils. Slightly competitive by nature, groups of this species often make it a friendly game to find and overcharge the most grounded coils.
For the 7th and final pal of the video, I thought I'd bring you this little cutie. I didn't really have too much of an idea when I sketched this guy. I just kinda sat down one day and drew a sheet full of different body types, and then several days later I went and turned those random bodies into full-fledged designs. Sometimes I'll even cheat and reuse the same rough draft to make a completely different line. For example, the rough draft you saw a second ago was also used as the starting point for Tucked In, which you might recognize if you've seen video number 4? Yeah, I just checked. Video number 4, and he's pal number 3. And while the proportions are somewhat similar, the designs are different enough that I feel like it'd be unnoticed if I hadn't pointed it out. I'm just bad at proportions, so I like to make myself some cheat sheets sometimes. While I do think this guy's name is cute, I don't find it very clever or imaginative, so I'm open to changing it from
Shrub bear eat their own berries to replenish their health and gain stat boosts. In sunny and rainy conditions, their berries grow twice as fast, and the effects are twice as strong. Water attacks replenish their health instead of dealing damage.
Well, that's all the pals I have for you in this video. But before you go, there are a couple ways you could get your concepts featured on a future video. Submissions can be digital or on a clean, unwrinkled sheet of paper. Not an artist, submit a text-only dex entry. Tune in next time to figure out who's that Fakemon. Have any guesses on what you think it might be? Leave a comment. And if you ever feel like you've left too many comments, just leave 2 more. And please use this for your submissions. The more info you include, the more understanding I'll have while rendering your idea. Understand that your submissions are not commissions, but commissions are prioritized. Thanks for watching until the end. I've decided to reduce my uploads to every other Wednesday at noon, and that's US Central Time, just until I'm finished with school. I may miss an upload from time to time, but either way, if you subscribe and ring my bell, you'll be notified of every upload. And until next time, adopt a bitch, but don't be a bitch. Bye.